Welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. So we are going to go ahead and get started browning up some ground beef. I'm going to season with onion powder, garlic powder, and then some of the Kinder's buttery garlic and herb. Next, I'm going to make a super simple Alfredo sauce. So it's just butter, some heavy cream. I had to add a little bit of milk because I didn't have enough heavy cream, and then just some Parmesan cheese. I'm just using the grated Parmesan because I didn't have any shredded, but I do think that shredded works a little bit better. And if I didn't mention yet, we are making spaghetti bake. I'm seasoning with more of that Kinder's buttery garlic and herb, and then I'm just going to mix that all together and add my noodles. You can use whatever pasta that you want. I just use the angel hair because that's what I had on hand. And then we are going to make a little egg temper. So you want to crack your egg into a separate bowl, and then I am just adding a little bit of the noodles just like as we go to basically bring the temperature of the eggs up to the temperature of the other food so that the eggs don't scramble. I'm going to go ahead and transfer my noodles over to my casserole dish, and then we're going to put our spaghetti sauce on top. I didn't show it, but I let my marinara sauce kind of simmer with my pasta sauce or with my burger while I was working on the Alfredo portion of this. But we're just going to dump this on top, spread it out the best you can, and then sprinkle it with some mozzarella cheese. And then I bake this in the oven at 375 for about 20 minutes. You just want to get everything heated back through and that cheese melted. Here's what it looks like when it came out of the oven. This was absolutely delicious. Definitely recommend trying this recipe for a new spin on spaghetti. Next, we are making some simple beef and rice. So I've got 2 cups of jasmine rice here. I'm just going to throw this in my Instant Pot. And then I always do 2 cups of beef broth. And I'm just going to mix everything together. And then I'll let it cook on high pressure for 5 minutes. And then you let it naturally release for 10. And then once the 10 minutes is up, then you'll quick release it the rest, and it comes out with perfect rice every single time. I do add a little bit of oil because my Instant Pot tends to stick, so I use the oil to help with that. For the hamburger mixture, so I actually had made some hamburger a couple days before, and I just put it in the fridge to use for an easy application like this. So I've got my hamburger here. I'm going to put a can of cream of mushroom in with just a little bit of milk and also some steak sauce. Going to mix that together and just let it heat through while my rice is cooking. Once it is heated through, I'm going to add just a little bit of cheese just for some extra flavor. You definitely don't have to, but we like cheese in ours. And then I'm going to add the rice, mix it all together, and that is dinner. Super simple and easy to put together. And here's what it looks like when it was all done. We served this with a side of broccoli, and everyone loved this. Last dinner, we are making sloppy joe bread, but we're gonna serve with some green beans. So I've got a couple cans of green beans here. I'm just gonna dump in a saucepan, and then I like to season with beef bouillon. It's just what we like, and if you haven't tried it, highly recommend. It gives it a ton of flavor, and you don't have to add butter or salt or anything. It's just really good. I just realized that all of these dinners are ground beef. So if you don't like ground beef, I'm sorry. It's just kind of how it worked out this week. But I'm just going to season my ground beef with the same seasonings that I've been using: salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and then the Kinder's buttery garlic and herb. I love this seasoning. It is so good. I found it at Sam's Club, but I've also seen it at Walmart. And I'm just going to let that cook through. And then for the sloppy joe portion, I'm just using manwich. We like the thick and chunky. It has good flavor, and we like the little chunks of tomato and peppers in it. So definitely recommend that if you have not tried that. The Pioneer Woman has a really good recipe too, but I just don't have it in me to make homemade sometimes. I'm going to go ahead and get started on my garlic bread portion. So I'm just going to put the frozen garlic bread on a sheet pan and cook it according to the box directions. I believe it's like 400 for 8 minutes, but I'm only going to cook it halfway through. I'm going to go ahead and add my manwich over to my ground beef, and then I like to put a little bit of water in the bottom of the can. Thought it was going to get all the sloppy joe mix out, but it didn't, so I still had to go in with a spatula. I'm just getting the rest of that out, and I'm going to let this simmer while my while my garlic bread is cooking halfway through. All right, so we're gonna take the garlic bread out of the oven. I'm gonna flip them so they don't get too brown on one side. And then I'm just gonna use my spatula. You could also use a spoon or whatever, but I'm just going to make kind of like a little well in the middle of the garlic bread. You just wanna push it down. You'll see what I'm doing here. And so that there's a place for the sloppy joe meat to sit down in. So after I'm done with that, I'm just gonna spoon as much of the sloppy joe mixture on top as I want. I think I just did a spoonful, and I made a couple of them a little bit smaller for the girls because they tend not to eat as much as everyone else. So you just kind of do that to your family, but I'm going to spoon that on, and then I'm going to top with some cheese, and I will bake it the rest of the way. So like 4 or 5 minutes, I think I did. And I've not made this in a really long time. It's definitely something that I used to have all the time when I was a kid. So I think I kind of just, got burnt out or blocked it out or blocked it out of my mind or something. I don't know. But if you've not tried it, you definitely should. I've seen people make it with French bread too, and then they just cut it up. But we like the garlic bread because it gives it just that added flavor. And so yeah, we served this with our green beans, and that was dinner for the week. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please subscribe. If you plan to make any of these meals, please let me know down below. Or if you have any favorite ground beef recipes, let me know as well. So I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.